because all of a sudden I realized I'm more than my hands. It was liberating, absolutely liberating.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Massage and Physiotherapist Roundtable Talk Show. If you tuned into the first episode, you would have heard a bit about the background of our panel and their experiences from the last year. In each episode, we will discuss a topic as picked by you and share our thoughts from different perspectives within the therapy world. I'm your host, Kate Brown, and on our panel, we have Imogen Tester, massage therapist. You have Tamer Morsi, massage therapist, Claire King, massage and craniosacral therapist, Anna Maria Mazzieri, soft tissue therapist, and Chris Haddon, massage therapist and reflexologist. So welcome back to all of you, and thank you so much again for joining us. So today we are talking about CPD, or more specifically, we are asking what's the best CPD course you've taken? So this is a really interesting topic, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say, as it's just, really inspiring hearing the different paths that everyone's gone down. So would anybody like to kick us off with today's question? Claire, excellent.
I'm mute myself. Hi. Okay, so I thought about it, and the course actually that I'm going to talk about today is the shortest course I've done. It was a one-day, and it was quite basic. But what it allowed me to do was diversify my business at a time when I kind of needed a bit of a rest from so much physical massage. So my second child was about 3, and I thought, right, I can't go back to full-time massaging. It's just too much at the moment. And so I went and had a little think, and I thought, oh, I know what I can do. I can do facials. Everyone loves a facial, and it gives me a little bit of a break. So I went and did a very local one-day course. It wasn't particularly brilliant. It was very, very basic, but it got me the qualification, taught me, some of the things that I needed to know. And then I went away and I just practiced, and I decided that I would incorporate a lot of massage into the facial, and that was going to be my USP. And so I just really, really practiced and just made sure that part of the facial was what people were really coming for, and they did. And I kind of then was known in the area for this lovely facial that made you look 5 years younger when you left, sometimes 10. And people came back again and again, which was great. And also, whilst I was still massaging people in terms of full body massage, but it just allowed me to have some variety, which is always nice. And also just to give me a break during the week that I could sit down. I was still offering like a really good service that I really enjoyed, but it just allowed me to have a little bit of a break, which is what I really needed at the time. And it was just, from that one-day course, like I said, that was quite basic, but I just really made it my own and made it work for me.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's so important to have a sort of a hand saver and something that can help extend your career as a therapist.
Absolutely.
What do you use a certain range of products, or do you use a mix?
So I've always used Neil's Yard, so that was just a thing that I kind of decided that I was going to do, and people came for that as well because they're such great products. And so it was all very kind of, everything was organic, and I was massaging, and it was just it's a really holistic treatment. I've actually stopped doing those now because I did that for about 5 years, and then whilst I was doing it, that's when I was training to be a craniosacral therapist, and now that work has taken over. So I have diversified quite a lot, which I really enjoy. I like change as well. So
yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's always nice to be sort of seeking new inspiration, moving forwards with ideas. Awesome. Great. Tamer, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. So my favorite CPD course so far was trigger point therapy. I've when I started my massage career, I wasn't 100% sure where I want to go. I wasn't 100% sure of the routes that I have available for the future. But because I used to work in a corporate environment, I've seen a lot of people, including myself, suffering from upper back and lower back pain. And the pain is just consistent. It's just there. It's part of our lives, basically. And no GP can help. No physiotherapy. The physiotherapy even couldn't help, because it's just muscular problems, basically. There's no problem. It's just there are stuck fibers, and that's what is causing the whole pain. Painkillers with no solution. So basically, I've started looking into getting more specialized in fixing the muscle itself, to offer clinical or remedial treatment. And basically, so basically I read about the trigger point about 3 months before I decided to study it. And it took my work to a whole different level. So I don't do, my massage doesn't have to be like a full body, or I'm just very, I offer customized treatments now. I can work on the neck for an hour. I can work on the lower back for 2 hours, glutes for 2 hours, just tracing the problem, solve it, and that's it. Of course, it takes time, but just it allowed me to understand more about how to help clients. Therefore, more client segments started to approach me, because I don't get now only people that want a relaxing massage. I get people who went to physiotherapists and they couldn't help them. And sometimes I can help. Sometimes I have to refer them again to someone else, whether a chiropractor or an osteopath or the GP again. But it allowed me to cover a larger area, if it makes sense, a larger area in terms of the treatments, basically.
Yeah. Can you sort of share a top tip about one of the key things to do when you're doing trigger point therapy?
Graduation. That's the top tip. It's not about going in there straight away. It's about preparing the muscle and connect with the body and connect with the muscle and preparing it. Take it very slowly. Palpate. Just take your time to palpate. If you spend 5 minutes for palpation only to find a trigger point, if you think about it from the beginning, you might think, oh yeah, the client will get bored and stuff like that. But it's doing something already to the muscle. The palpation itself, it's relaxing a lot of fibers around the trigger point, which allow us to reach the trigger point easily, much easier. And at the same time, I'm going to work on the root cause of the problem. So for me, I've got 2 options. I've got the option of, oh yeah, let me work on this area because I know that the problem is there for 5 minutes. Or I can palpate for 5 minutes and then treat the knot in about a minute. So the latter one is more effective in terms of if we're talking about clinical treatments.
Yeah, so patience is a virtue.
Oh yeah. We've got time. We've got all the time.
Awesome, thank you, Tamer.
Thank you.
All right, Imogen, can you share with us your best CPD course?
Excuse me. I'm going to cheat very slightly, and I couldn't decide between 2, but one is very physical and one isn't. So the physical one that I really enjoyed was Thai. I don't really work traditionally in Thai, but what it brought to my practice was for me more than my clients. So I do a few different modalities, and they all work the same way, essentially, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the Thai for me gave me a bit like Claire. It saved my body. It showed me how to move my body in a way that made me able to work longer hours, not be exhausted at the end of the day. And it's quite handy as well because you can work fully clothed. So if you have a client who maybe doesn't want to undress, or you're at a sporting event and they're covered in mud, you can use it like a tool. It's a really useful tool that I really enjoy doing. But the main course I wanted to talk about, this is going to be an Anna Maria love fest here, was the school. And not a modality at all, but I've done a few of their little mini courses now, And what I've learned through working with the guys from the school has just changed my whole practice completely. So it's not about what I do, but it's about how what I do works. And I've just gone down the whole evidence-informed biopsychosocial model, and now I've got so much more excitement for my practice. And I still don't understand everything. I don't think I ever will, but, but I understand a little better than maybe I used to about how what I do works and can help people, and how communication and listening to my clients can help people. And it's not necessarily what I do with my hands that works, but how that affects them, and working with them rather than on them, and sort of empowering them really to go off and get themselves better, so they don't need me anymore, but they tell all their friends about me, of course. So I find it quite difficult to explain because I'm still really learning about it. I've got a long way to go learning about it, and everything seems to be changing a lot even as I'm learning. But it's really exciting. And I've just also signed up for the Level Up course that they're doing for next year to take my level 5, but in this evidence-based way. So I'm really super excited about learning even more and getting even more mind blown and confused, but it's fantastic. I do love it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And yeah, Anna, I just want to come and train with you now. I've heard so many good things already. Well, should we go over to Anna actually then?
Thank you, Imogen, very much indeed, because I love to see that excitement, because that was the same excitement that took me years ago when I did a series of CPDs, and some of them were online on pain science. And all of a sudden, learning learning the current understanding of pain science, you start realizing, oh my God, actually, what we do is beyond the physicality of the person's body. Learning that we don't break down fascia, we don't unstuck muscles, we don't lengthen the muscle per se, but we have a very strong involvement with the neurophysiology of the person and the kind of emotional and psychology part of the person. Those were all things that actually I was already seeing in practice. I've been in practice, say, for a few years. I used to see that in practice, but doing the course with Lorimer Mosley just put everything into one place. Everything all of a sudden made sense. And Imogen, I'm just so aligned with what you say, and I so recognize myself in that, because all of a sudden I realized I'm more than my hands. It was liberating, absolutely liberating from the fact the following evidence, which by doing pain science taught me, following evidence-based practice, not only is a responsibility that we have as we work with people in pain, but also it's you don't have to marry to any idea or to any gurus or to any modalities. What you do, you work with what is best practice. And we all know, because we've all been in practice for a long time, that our value is a tremendous value, and it does not always to do with our hands. It's about context, it's about everything. So I know that is a little bit the same as what Imogen said, but I very much, that changed my approach, and I haven't gone back.
Thank you for sharing that, Anna. Great. Chris, would you like to continue?
Yeah, so I think just following on in a similar pattern with everyone's choices is I've seen that everyone's chose things that have really helped them, as opposed to things that may be a new thing that for the client, I suppose. I mean, I guess what helps us helps the client, because if it makes our life easier, we can put more energy and passion into the treatment itself. So again, cheating slightly. Mine was, it wasn't a typical just sort of a 1-day quick CPD course. It was more of a 3-day sort of thing. But it was the no hands training that I did. And I don't class myself as a no hands therapist. I don't label it as that. I don't, because I did that for me. I did it so I could learn some techniques so that I wasn't just using my hands all day. Because, you know, I use my hands a lot. I play guitar, I play in a band, I do lots, you know, and I was finding of the evenings after working and doing massaging all day, and the band are looking at me saying, come on, faster, mate, faster. And I'm like that with my hands thinking, oh, my hands are killing. And I was like, this can't be right, you know, because what we're doing should be something that it's not meant to hurt us, you know, because if it does, then what's the point? So I booked on and did a 3-day like introduction, if you like, into no hands training. And it did, honestly, I'll be, you know, it was kind of like mind blowing in a way, because I was like, I felt like I'd been doing it all wrong, just posture related things, you know, like at the level, the height of my couch, you know, leaning over all the time rather than squatting and stuff. And, you know, don't get me wrong, after 3 days of that, my legs, I was like walking like John Wayne down the stairs. I was like sort of like a cowboy. Like my legs were killing, but it really helped. I just took the bits that I liked and the bits that felt comfortable to me, and adapted them into my usual routine. And I didn't tell my clients either. I didn't make a big song and dance about, oh, I'm doing something new today. Let me know what you think, because chances are then I find that they're then going to be thinking about it throughout the whole treatment. Like, oh, what's he doing there? What's this? What's that? So I just kind of did it, and I had nothing but, you know, praise from them. Oh, that was a bit deeper today. That was really nice. Oh, what, you know, and I can do a whole day now, you know, treating clients, and I'm you know, I can still go to the gym after it, or go for a swim, or I'm not tired. I'm feeling good. So yeah, definitely the no hands stuff for me was like it opened a new door. The fact that I now know I don't have to retire in 10 years or something, you know. So yeah.
Awesome, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I think sort of what everyone has said about really taking stuff and making it their own is just what makes all of us unique as therapists, is kind of taking all those styles that we learn and just blending it into our own way of doing things. And that's just a really beautiful thing, that we've just got so much variety within the massage world.
Because ultimately, Kate, is about the person. Ultimately, it's about us. What is actually effective, and we know that through evidence, is the Therapeutic Alliance. So it's about us as a person, Anna Maria, more than as a therapist, and the person in front of me, that is the client, is the merging of the two, and then the techniques I use, they're all secondary. And I think that is beautiful, and probably we see that all the time in clinical practice. We see that unless we click, what we say, you know, unless, you know, if I don't click with my client, unless we click with a person or the person clicks with us, therapeutic outcomes are not going to be there.
And I also totally agree with that. And that's why I think there's always room for everybody. You know, I'm not ever in a competition with people that are down the road from me, because if someone, you know, prefers them, then that's fine. And also I always refer on, or I'll refer to someone else if I think it's, you know, a better fit, you know, it would in terms of modalities. But it's just about being really personal and true to yourself, and then it will always work.
We're all colleagues, not competitors.
Totally.
Awesome. So I'm going to do a little quick fire round now. I just want to go around and ask each of you what training or what course that you'd really like to explore next, or what's next on the list for you to do and learn. So Taymaj, can we start with you?
Sure. My next course, so I mentioned before that on the long run, I want to start studying animal massage, the animal anatomy, and start working with horses and dogs, basically. The short-term one, and probably that's going to be in the next 6 months, would be either myofascial release, that's for sure, and muscle energy technique. There's a question about it. Just need to read about the muscle energy technique, but definitely myofascial release probably. I specialize in just, oh, that's not how, again, I advertise myself for clients, but I work with trigger points most of the time. So I think the myofascial release will go hand in hand with the trigger point, and would help me to achieve great results, basically. So that's the short, that's hopefully the next 6-month course.
Great. Yeah, I'd love to do some fascia release work as well. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for when something fits in.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated about it once I find
the
right one. I'll let you know, definitely.
Share what you find.
Cool.
Claire, how about yourself?
So my focus is now more craniosacral therapy. However, I would like to do the no hands massage as I get a bit older. You know, let's kind of explore that. So I am actually going to look into that. And then in terms of my craniosacral therapy, I'm really focusing on babies now. So I see lots of babies with tongue tie and reflux. And so yeah, that is now kind of my focus moving forward, to kind of specialize in babies, which is a lovely thing to do and a lovely way to treat, actually. But yeah, definitely the no hands massage as well. If I've got some time, I would definitely like to investigate that too.
Yeah, definitely. Can anyone recommend any no hands courses?
Well, there's the official no hands, which is the branded sort of place. I mean, obviously that's probably where I would recommend. Obviously, it's the main sort of, because I think obviously other places always spark up off that, and then you don't quite know, do you, what you're being taught and stuff. But all I'd say with it is obviously it can be full on. You take it as far as you want to go. But for me, like from personal experience, the most I learned from it, I've done a few of the different ones. I've gone further on, but I learned the most techniques that I've implemented into my general practice just from the first, like, I think it was like the first 2-day thing, and because that's where I learned all the main points and the things where I felt I was going wrong and what helped me the most. But like, you can take it as far as you feel you want to take it, of course. But yeah, but no hands is just the brand name. So check. Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah.
And Claire, I can send you, because that's one of the courses that I'm teaching. I'm teaching a 2-day course of, it's called, I call it the art of body mechanics, to be honest. So I'll send you the link for it. It's got all the modules. Yeah, I'll send it to you after the call.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Forgot to unmute myself. Fab, I said. Imogen, how about yourself?
So as I said before, I've just signed up to do my level 5 with the school, which I'm super excited about. But I'm going to have a bit of juggling with some of the weekends, because I'm really hoping as well. I'm doing an initial course into Feldenkrais in the autumn, and I'm hoping to take the big sort of 3.5-year course with that as well. So although it's kind of a modality, I know that physical movement is a weakness in my practice that I'd like to explore more, so I can give my clients the tools to go away on their own and work with their bodies and explore movement. So I'm really super excited, although a little bit scared about how I'm going to find the time to do all of this, but I'm sure I'll work it out. So yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to doing.
Could you just explain what Feldenkrais is?
So I'm obviously yet to fully learn, but it's a movement-based therapy or practice. So I suppose more similar to yoga or Pilates. Joseph Feldenkrais was a fascinating life story, but he was a keen, very good judo player, but he got injured and sat wondering how to get out of it. And using he was a physicist, I believe, so using his scientific mind, he worked out that the best judo players weren't the strongest or the fittest, but they were the ones who could move most effortlessly. And at the same time, he was watching his baby move. And so it's kind of a merging of those. So being mindful of where you might be holding tension, how to make very easy, fluid movements. And yeah, but that's as far as I know. Hence, I'm going on the course because I don't know. But so it's about making gentle, easy movements and letting your body know it's safe to move, and always working within sort of your happy place of movement, but encouraging people to move safely and happily. Yeah, I think that's what I think anyway.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. Chris, how about you?
Well, I'm signed up to do my reflexology level 5 in September, and that's going to be quite a big one again, juggling with working and stuff. And then it's dawned on me about all the case studies again. And I always remember every time I do a biggie, I think, right, that's it now. I'm not doing any more for a bit. I've got plenty. I'm fine, you know. But something always then comes up. But as far as a CPD sort of maybe like a one day goes, it would be I want to do some lymphatic drainage massage techniques. Again, mainly because my partner and all her friends are always asking me do it and stuff, and so I've probably got a ready-made client base for that there. And then it's just again finding a day to do it. I guess the last year and a half's put a sort of a stop on everything, hasn't it? So you've reminded me, and this has reminded me today that I can probably start looking at dates for stuff like that now. So yeah, some lymphatic drainage, but there's loads. There's honestly loads. I often find I just go on a website like maybe like Gateway or somewhere like that and just see. I just look what they've got on, what one day CPD courses they've got on, and I'll be like, oh, I'm free on that week. Yeah, I'll just do that, you know, because I guess you can't learn too much, can you, really? You know, you never stop, do you? So, but yeah, in short, I know it was meant to be quick fire round, so I do apologise. Lymphatic drainage.
No, thank you for sharing that, Chris. That's awesome. Great, and over to Anna.
I've got 2 courses coming up, 2 small two CPD courses. One is Motivational Interviewing with Rollnick itself, so how to help people to move into behavior change. And the other one, which I'm really looking forward with, is Peter O'Sullivan, Cognitive Behavioral Functional Therapy, which is working with people with pain. Again, it's all about communication and how we help them build self-efficacy.
Do you have a link that you can share for that?
Of course,
we can put that maybe with the details of the podcast. Great.
Of course we have.
That'd be perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Well, yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you, everyone, for sharing all of your thoughts and experiences. Yeah, I'm sure this will be really inspirational for a lot of people. Definitely, whenever I hear people talking about, you know, different courses, it makes me want to go out and do them myself. A bit like Chris, looking through the list, you just kind of pick things off of the out of the sweetie shop. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of that, and we'll be back next time. So thank you, panel, for joining us, and thank you to the listeners for tuning in. And if you'd like to be alerted to the next episode, just hit the subscribe button or sign up to the newsletter in the description below. So we will see you next time. And if you have any ideas that you'd like us to discuss for the next episode, please just let us know.